It was a beautiful summer's day on the island of Sodor. Percy was taking the Fat Controller and his family up to Culdee Fell so they could travel high up to the mountains. When he arrived at the station, he saw Culdee waiting for him.
Morning, Percy. I haven't seen you in a while. What have you been doing?
I was busy taking the mail around the island. It's a very important job.
Important, isn't it?
Huh. Well, it's not as important as taking passengers.
Now, Lord Harry, the mail train is a very important part of the railway.
Culdee is right. It would be nice if there was a mail train on our railway.
But there wouldn't be if envelopes get blown away by the winds in the mountains.
So, Percy, have you got any important passengers for me to carry?
I sure have. I bought the Fat Controller and his family for a trip up to the mountains. I know an engine with a slope boiler that climbs mountains, and his name is Gator.
You mean that green engine who attended my welcome back party last year?
Yes, that's the one. I haven't seen him for quite a while now, so I think that you lot can climb mountains really well, like him.
All right, Percy, thanks for dropping us off at Kirkmacken.
And don't forget to come back and pick us up this afternoon.
Don't worry, I've got some mail to deliver anyway. I'll see you all later.
Bye, Percy. You go easy now.
That night, Percy returned to the sheds to tell the other engines about the Culdee Fell Railway and everything that was affiliated to it.
So, Percy, what have you been up to today?
I took the Fat Controller and his family to Culdee Fell so they could go on a mountain trip.
That sounded like fun!
It seems so, but I also have a friend named Gator who can also climb mountains too. Do any of you still remember him?
You mean the engine that gave me a fright while I was pulling the flying kipper one time?
Yes, do you remember when we all thought he was a monster?
Don't mention it, Percy. We're already past that now, so we should all be glad that the monster wasn't real.
Would you all please be quiet? I'm trying to sleep here.
Sorry for waking you up, Gordon. I'm just remembering my distant friend Gator.
Why don't you think about your friend while you sleep, Percy? It's what I would do when I think of someone I haven't seen in ages.
And once everyone fell asleep, Percy looked up in the stars and said,
I know you can't hear me, but good night to you too, Gator. I love working on Sodor with all my friends, but I wish you could visit me again soon. Or maybe one day I can visit you.
And with that, Percy closed his eyes and fell fast asleep. And then he began to dream. In his dream, Percy was being unloaded from a cargo ship and realised he was in a different railway.
Where am I? This isn't the island of Sodor, but it is quite a strange railway to walk on.
Greetings, Percy.
Gator! It's you! What are you doing here?
This is my home railway, Percy. Welcome to Columbia.
Oh my! This is a busy place. I wonder why the Fat Controller sent me here.
My controller telephoned him, and he needed one of his Sodor engines to help me out for a few weeks. And so he thought that he decided to send you here, Percy.
That's great, Gator! I can't wait to be working with you while I'm in this country.
Just then, one of the dock workers had an important message for Percy and Gator.
I need you two to deliver these trucks of medical supplies for the villagers living in the mountains. It's very important that you two need to go straight there.
Don't worry, you can count on us. Are you ready for our mountain adventure, Percy?
I sure am, Gator. I'm all refilled and ready to go.
Percy and Gator puffed along the line as the two friends were delivering the medical supplies to the mountain villagers.
I can't believe I've been sent to help my friend Gator. This is the best job I've had in a long time.
Just then, the two friends had to stop at a signal to let another engine pass.
What do you think of the Colombian countryside, Percy?
It looks wonderful, Gator. There are so many mountains and hillsides. It even reminds me of Shen Valley back on Sodor.
Just wait till you see the views when you're on top of the mountains.
Percy and Gator were making their way to the mountain village. Just then, they arrived at the foot of the mountain where the tracks would go up to the top.
This is it, Percy. This sloped track takes us high up to the mountain village. We just have to cross the bridge that's at the top to get to the other side.
Have you overcome your fear of heights, Gator?
I sure have, Percy. Now everyone says that I'm an expert at mountain climbing.
Percy was pleased to hear this. But then there was trouble. Percy tried to climb up the mountain track, but the slope was very steep. Percy slipped down back to the bottom with the heavy trucks dragging him along.
What's wrong, Percy?
I can't go up the slope, Gator. I don't have sloping water tanks like you.
I don't think it was your tanks. It was probably the weight of your trucks that pulled you back down. Not to worry, I can push you up to the top.
Gator changed tracks and buffered up to Percy so he can push him and his trucks up to the mountain top. Pushing Percy and pulling the supplies was very hard work. At last, Percy and Gator have reached the top where they came to the big bridge.
We made it! Thanks for helping, Gator.
No problem, Percy. Now we just need to cross this high bridge to get to the other side where the village is.
Wow! Just look at the wonderful view of Colombia. This is just like working on the Culdee Railway, but only for standard gauge engines.
That's right, Percy. Now then, we have to continue on to finish the important job.
Alright, Gator, let's deliver these supplies to the villagers.
And so, Percy continued his way to the village as he puffed across the highest bridge he had ever travelled on. When Percy soon arrived at the village station, he saw the station master waiting for him with the supplies.
I have arrived! Here are the medical supplies for the villagers that live here.
I was expecting another engine to arrive at the same time with your load.
Don't worry, Gator should be here any minute now. But I hope he doesn't take too long crossing the bridge. He shouldn't be scared to cross it now.
But what Percy didn't realise was that when Gator tried to cross the bridge, he ran out of water and was stuck halfway.
Oh no! I've run out of water! This isn't supposed to happen. How am I supposed to deliver the supplies to the villagers now?
Gator soon realised that pushing Percy and pulling his load made him lose most of his steam since he kept puffing. Meanwhile, Percy was waiting for Gator to show up when the station master was starting to lose his patience.
That's it. I can't wait any longer. We have to close the village stores soon as we can't wait anymore.
No, don't do that! I'll go and find Gator. I'm sure he's still around somewhere.
Percy was uncoupled from his crux and went off to find Gator. As the sun was starting to go down, Gator was worried. The high winds howled over the mountains, and his boiler was starting to get cold.
I wish Percy was pulling a lighter load. I should have asked the dock worker what trucks to take before we could head off. Huh? Percy, you're here!
There you are, Gator. I was worried where you were. What are you doing still on the bridge?
I've run out of water while I was crossing the bridge, Percy. I'm not sure if you can pull me across with my load in tow.
Don't worry, I've still got plenty of water in my tanks. You helped me go up the mountain, and now it's my turn to help you get across the bridge.
Gator was happy for Percy to be helping him out. As soon as they coupled up, Percy slowly pulled Gator and his trucks across the high bridge. The wind was blowing fiercely, but Percy didn't give up. At last, Percy and Gator had arrived safely at the village station. The villagers cheered when they saw the engines arriving with the important supplies.
You did it, Percy! You got us here just in time.
Well, it's about time this load has arrived.
Percy was happy he had helped Gator, and he felt like a true hero.
I did it! I actually did it! I'm a hero!
Wake up, Percy. Rise and shine.
I just woke up, Thomas. Let my fire starts burst.
Just then, the Fat Controller arrived at the sheds.
Good morning, my engines. Did you all have a nice, quiet sleep last night?
It was terrific, sir. You won't believe the dream I had.
I dreamed I was back in Kenya seeing my old friends.
I dreamed that I was the most excellent engine on the railway.
You wouldn't believe the dream I had last night.
What sort of dream is it, Percy?
I dreamt about how the Fat Controller sent me to Colombia with my friend Gator.
Not this again, Percy.
Shush, Gordon. My dream is the most important one of all.
Tell us more about your dream, Percy.
And while the engines were waiting for their fires to start, Percy told them all about his adventure in the Colombian mountains with his friend Gator. And later that night, when the day's work was done, Percy looked up towards the night sky and said,
Good night, Gator.
Good night to you too, Percy.